everyone, YouAttest is proud to show you today an advanced feature we just made GA and have customers using in their SOX and other compliance reports. Hi, my name is Ashley Madison. I'm the YouAttest Director of Customer Success.
And I'm Kashif Mahmood, Director of Field Services at YouAttest.
So customers love our auto delegation for user access reviews, which I've used to scale up to thousands of reviewers at a time for up to 1 million reviewers to date. However, recently a few customers have asked for advanced delegation features. So we've met that challenge. We've created advanced auto delegation, which works as follows. Starts with the manager, then goes to the resource owner, then can go to the approver or validator, and finally goes to the internal auditor. So it's up to 4 reviewers on any attestation. So Kashif, why don't you show it in action?
Sure, let me just go ahead and share my screen real quick and we'll go through the whole process. And let me know, Ashley, when you can see my screen.
Yep.
And it's the dashboard, right?
Correct.
Great. So let's see what the usual audit looks like, because I'm just going to open up an existing one for you so that you can compare the two and see what the results are after the development was made. So I'm just going to do that. And here we go. So normally what we do in audits, when we pull the information for a group or for an application from your Azure or from your Okta environment or any identity store of record that you have, it basically consists of the user ID and the manager that user is reporting to. So when we pull these two pieces of information from your identity store, what we do, which is really convenient to the users, we just go ahead and do the auto delegate. What it does, it looks for the information here in the user profile that who's their manager, and then pushes out automatic emails to those managers letting them know that there is an audit, there is a campaign that they have to participate in, and perform action by either certifying or revoking access of these users that report to them. Now we went one step ahead, and in addition to having a manager reviewing a user, we added more layers to it. So for example, if in addition to this manager, or if you want to eliminate the manager and put some more people in the process to validate, to do the attestation, and to check the performance or the work of those resources involved, we have put in certain delegation flow that I'm going to show you here. In addition to this manager, now we are able to send it out to multiple people in different tiers. For example, let's see this. Now here is the delegation flow feature that we have put in. First of all, you need to go in your settings, and if it's been disabled, you will just click on that and enable the workflow rules so that you can customize those according to your needs. Now, when you click on workflows, it will let you create a new workflow for every audit if necessary. Otherwise, you can have one workflow and apply it to all audits, which I'm going to show you how. So here in the workflow, just give a workflow name that you can easily remember when you're picking it up from the dropdown. That's going to show up at a later stage. I'll just say, for example, demo. The delegation workflow. Now, there are 4 tiers. One is what you have already seen in the previous example, is the manager that these users they are reporting to. The next 3 layers, one is the resource owner. The other one is the approver or the validator, who will validate the work done by resource owner and the manager. And then the last layer is the internal auditor, who will check and validate the work done by all these 3 or 2 or 1, or whatever you want to include in there. He will be the last one who will evaluate what they have done and do the attestation and finalize it for the admin. Now, once you select the resource owner, you will just have to type in the email of that resource owner that you put in there, you want to add something, you want to add a approver and validator, same is the case. You put in that person's email. And last, if you want to put in an internal auditor who will validate their work, you can also do that and put in his or her email ID in here and save those changes. Now, once you save that, it's going to be saved here under the workflow list that you can choose from when you're creating an audit, which I'm going to show you momentarily. So now this is the list. And now when I go to create the audit, for example, I want to create a group audit, right? Now I have enabled the delegation workflow. It's going to show up at the bottom of all my options here. So what I'll do, I'll just select my API, which is my identity store, could be Okta, could be Azure, whatever the integration has been done with. And I give it a name. For example, I just say demo for today's presentation, and I select a target date as usual, just like in any other audit that we do. But now the additional option here is the workflow that you have just created. So once you click on the drop down, it will give you the whole list. You can select whatever workflow you want to be in action and click next. Now here, it's going to ask you to choose the group that you want to do the delegation or you want to do the audit for. I'll just go ahead and select the developers group. And now it is fetching the information from your tenant, from your Azure or Okta or any identity store from that environment. And it will show it to me in this format, just like I have here. Now, in the previous case, there was only one manager who was able to review the access of these users who were reporting to them. But in this case, there are 3 additional layers that have been added. If you look at under the status, one says resource owner, the validator, and the auditor. Now, how is this going to work? It's basically embedded into our functionality for auto delegation. So nothing's been added here. What you're going to see is when you click on auto delegate, before it was sending emails or notifications out to these managers upon auto delegation. Now these 3 layers will also be included in that workflow. So let's see how. Now here, the first resource owner in the case where you have selected those resource owners and approvers and internal auditor, this is the first layer this audit is going to go to once you confirm that. Once it's confirmed, the system is going to delegate it out automatically to those managers, and it's going to show that email has been sent out. They will get the notification. Once they open that email, all they have to do is either certify or revoke the access of these users. And here, as an admin, you will be able to see the progress. So once that person completes the process, this is what you're going to see as an admin, that resource owner has completed the attestation. So there's one check mark, right? Then the validator, it goes out to the validator automatically, who then sees what the resource owner has done in terms of taking action, whether he has certified or he has revoked the access of these users. If he's okay with that, he'll certify that as well. And upon certification, it will go further out to the internal auditor, who will then see if the validator and the resource owner, they have done their task correctly. He will just go ahead and attest the whole audit, the whole campaign, and the risk manager or the admin who has created the campaign will see something like this and will consider the audit as complete. So this is sequential delegation. Instead of delegating it to one manager, now it has been automated where it sends it out to multiple people, but in a sequence, not all at once. In a sequence, once one person is done with the audit, it will go to the next one in line, and then when he's done, it will go to the third one in line, and at the end, the audit will be completed, and it will also be shown in the report as well, which you can show to your external auditor that this is the process we have followed. We have not delegated it to just one person. Actually, there were multiple people involved who validated each other's work, and this is the end result at the end of the audit that you can, also trace back what process was followed. It will always be timestamp, and under actions, it will always show who performed the last action on any user in terms of certifying or revoking the access. So this has made and will make a life a lot easier for an auditor or a reviewer who will now he doesn't have to wait for an email sent out by an admin manually. But in this case, it will be sequential delegation, and the system will take care of everything itself as far as these delegations and workflows are concerned. So that's about it. That's the new feature. So Ashley, over to you.
Perfect. Thank you, Kausha. So thank you everyone for watching. So please contact us today and we'll solve not only your simple identity governance issues, but also the complex ones. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.